welcome once again to my channel. If you are new here, this is the Diaspora Mom Cheese vlog, and I make videos mostly about Finland, studying in Finland, living in Finland, and generally life in Finland. So please do consider subscribing to my channel if any of this topic interests you. I'm going to talk about moving from Nigeria to Finland, or as a matter of fact, from Nigeria to any other country abroad. So the number one tip is that you should have something to do there. So in any country that you are planning to move, it's important that you already have a plan. Even though you are going with a visa, you should already have a plan of what you are going to do there. So it will always be nice for you to have something to do instead of just going without a plan. So it's either you go there to study, or you are going there to work, or you are going there to start your own company, or just something. But you should have something in mind, because sometimes, those countries that operate the social system, when you're planning to come to their country, they don't want you to be a burden to them. So you must have something doing for them to give you a resident permit. So that means if you're, for example, coming with a visa and you plan to stay in the country, so plan ahead what you want to do in the country, so that when you renew your resident permit, you will be able to get it. So the number two tip is that you need to plan ahead. So if you're moving from Nigeria to Finland, so you need to, save. You need to save up a lot of money to, convert from Naira to Euros, so that you don't get stranded when you come to Finland, because you don't, think that you just come to Finland and you start making money, or you don't come to Finland or any other country and start making money instantly. So you need to plan yourself in a way that you can sustain yourself for a period of time before you could start working. Because, for example, you're coming with a visa which you intend to convert to a resident permit, so that is going to take really lots of time. So you need to plan yourself, and you might not get anything to work within that period of time. So you really need to plan yourself financially, save up a lot of money. Even if you're coming as a student, you still need to save up a lot of money, and that's why the school requires you to have a deposit in your account that is able to sustain you for 1 year as a student. So that's very important, so that even if that's all you have to sustain you for 1 year, so that at the end of 1 year you will be able to, to have found something doing, even though it's not always that easy for a student to get a job, but at least it's possible for you to get a job after 1 year. So another thing you need to plan also is various things. You also need to plan where to live. Go to the internet, check out what kind of housing systems they have in Finland. In Finland, housing is very expensive, except for students. They have subsidized housing rates, but otherwise housing is very expensive, especially if you live. The more you live in the city, the more closer to the city you are, the more expensive housing is. Even for student apartment. Student apartment in the city like Helsinki is more expensive than student apartment outskirts of the city, like Salo, where I studied. So that's just it. You need to make inquiry, or even if you can find a house ahead of time, sometimes you can put up with someone and pay the person. So if you do that ahead of time, it will be easier for you when you move in. Tip number 3 is that any country you are planning to move to, go to the internet, read about them, know a little bit about the country, so that you don't just go to the country and find a shocker for yourself, because before you decide to move to a particular country, there is something that made you want to move there. It could be that you want to move there to go and study. Perhaps it's tuition-free university. So just go to the internet and read about the country and see also if, apart from the studies, if you can also fit in into the country. For example, if you are planning to move to a country like Finland, so you have to read about Finland, check out the weather. Of course, you know that Finland is cold, but there is also more to the cold than just cold. So if you read more about Finland, you would realize that apart from cold, Finland is also a dark country for more months in the year. So in Finland, you hear about the polar nights. So in the northern Finland, that means that there are some time that the sun does not rise above the horizon at all in that day. So that's the polar night. So that means if you live in that part of Finland, in a whole day you don't see light, the whole day is dark. So even if you now live in the southern part of Finland, during the winter, it's also more of the dark days. The sun could rise around 9 or even 10 o'clock, and the sun will set around 3-4 p.m. So that means that they have longer nights and shorter days. And also it's very cold and freezing. Also, the summer in Finland is very warm and lovely, and it's always bright. It doesn't get dark on time, so that you don't have a shocker of your life when it's summer and you're waiting for darkness to come and it doesn't come. So we have really longer days. Also, Finland is an expensive country. Actually, it is expensive compared to some other European countries. So don't get a shocker of your life when you come to Finland and find that things are really expensive. Also, Finland pay high taxes. People working in Finland, they pay really high taxes, and that is why everything is organized. The roads are good, the buses are right on schedule, and during the winter when the snow falls, the tractors come to remove the snow almost immediately. The only time they don't come is when there is prediction that the snow is, falling and not stopping. So there is no point to just come and remove and very often. But of course, once in a while, when the snow is piled up, they come to remove it. So that's why everything is, organized. And no matter how cold it is, no matter how snowy it is, it doesn't stop people's daily activities because everything is well planned. Another thing you need to put into consideration when you're moving to another country is language, what kind of language they speak. So for example, in Finland they speak Finnish. So even though you can make your way, even though you can have your way if you speak English, but there is no other way you can fit very much into the society than to just learn Finnish. So it would be good that even before you move to the country, you already start to learn the basic language. For example, you could learn how to say some greetings, or say hi or hello, or give compliments, say thank you, and those little things you can learn ahead of time before you move to Finland, because it's also a plus to you. As a matter of fact, if you are able to speak more than one language, it's always an advantage. So that's why it's really important and it's really advisable to learn the language of the country you are planning to move to, or you are already in right now. Another thing you need to consider doing is to learn the culture. So you need to learn the culture of the country that you're moving to. So that way life is easier for you, things are easier for you, so that you don't take things personal, and it's easier for you to understand why people behave the way they behave. For example, if you come to a country like Finland, their culture is completely different from the culture we have in Nigeria. Generally, the Nigerian culture is that, the men take care of the women. So in Finland, it's not like that. In Finland, it's 50-50. So in Finland, most of the time, when people are meeting for the first time, they usually go for coffee or when people want to hang out, or when people want to know themselves more, they usually plan for a coffee time, like let's go have coffee somewhere or somewhere. But in Nigeria, that's not always the case. People can always meet anywhere, or but in Finland it's usually coffee. They like coffee, and yeah, that's. And the last is that you should enjoy your stay. In any country you are, there is always something good about any country. So find the good things, enjoy them, be positive, and you have a good time and you enjoy yourself. Thank you guys for listening. And if you're already planning to move to a country, or you have something to talk to me about, so leave it in the comment section below and I will respond to all messages. Thank you, and see you in my next video. Bye.